What if death isn't the end, but the beginning of something far greater than we could ever imagine? What if the moments we call our final ones are not the slow fading of light, but the piercing dawn of a consciousness that never truly began and never truly ends? Welcome to Beyond the Mind. Today, we explore the profound and often unsettling phenomena of near-death experiences and altered states of consciousness. This journey is not just about life and death. It's about reality itself. About the thin veil that separates the seen from the unseen, the known from the unknowable. Let us begin not with science, nor with religion, but with silence, the silence of a flat line. The stillness of a heart that has ceased to beat. The quiet from which countless souls have returned, not just alive, but awakened. Around the world, people have encountered something deeply mysterious in the space between life and death. They speak of rising above their bodies, of watching doctors work feverishly, unaware of the observing presence hovering nearby. They describe tunnels, radiant light, immense peace, and an intelligence that seems to emanate pure love. They speak of reviews of their entire lives, not as a cold recap, but as a deeply emotional reliving. Not just their own feelings, but the emotions they caused others. Empathy magnified to a cosmic scale. Some meet loved ones long departed. Others meet beings of light or hear a voice without form, asking the same question in infinite variations. Are you ready to go back? And then they do. Often reluctantly, but changed forever. Skeptics offer explanations: hallucinations, chemical reactions, brain activity in shutdown. But more and more, the scientific data challenges these interpretations. In many documented cases, people describe events and details that occurred while they were clinically dead, details later confirmed by medical staff. In some cases, the brain had no measurable activity. In others, surgeries took place with the eyes taped shut, the ears blocked, and yet the experiences remained vivid, coherent, and deeply transformative. It raises a question most avoid asking: is consciousness truly a product of the brain? Or is it something the brain tunes into, a receiver, not a generator? To explore this, we must look beyond near-death experiences and into a wider territory: altered states of consciousness. Because what emerges is a pattern, a hidden geography of the mind. One that connects NDEs with meditative samadhi, with psychedelic journeys, with lucid dreams, and mystical ecstasies. The language may differ, the contexts change, but the core elements remain hauntingly similar. In deep meditation, practitioners report ego dissolution, a sensation of merging with a vast field of awareness, and the perception that time has either stopped or never existed at all. They speak of oneness, timelessness, and a love that transcends emotion, a force that is. In sacred rituals across the world, indigenous shamans ingest plant medicines not to hallucinate, but to access the other world, the unseen realm that they insist is just as real, if not more real, than waking life. These altered states are not escape. They are confrontation. They peel away the layers of identity and perception, revealing something many of us spend a lifetime avoiding: the raw, infinite nature of being. And at the heart of them all lies the same mystery: the persistence of awareness. If you've never experienced it, this might sound like fantasy. But for those who have touched the edge, whether through trauma, ritual, accident, or disciplined practice, something changes. Not just what they think, but how they live. Fear of death diminishes. A sense of connection intensifies. The boundaries between self and other, here and there, life and death, begin to dissolve. But let us be clear, we're not suggesting every near-death account is a glimpse of heaven, or that every altered state is enlightenment. Human perception is fallible. Memory is slippery. And belief can shape experience in ways we barely understand. Yet, there's a frequency in these stories. A harmony that rings across cultures, continents, and centuries. Ancient Egypt spoke of the Ka and the Ba elements of the soul that traveled beyond death. The Tibetan Book of the Dead mapped the bardo, the in-between state after life ends. Christian mystics spoke of beatific visions. Sufis danced themselves into ecstatic union. Yogis withdrew their senses and described a light brighter than 1,000 suns. Modern medicine now meets ancient mysticism in the lab. Controlled studies with patients using substances like psilocybin, DMT, and ketamine show consistent patterns: a sense of ego loss, encountering intelligences or guides, profound emotional catharsis, and most intriguingly, a lasting change in worldview. People come back from these states with similar conclusions: that consciousness does not reside in the body, that love is the underlying fabric of reality, and that what we call death is not the end, but a return. Of course, this raises the great paradox. If consciousness can exist outside the body, where is it? Where does it go when we sleep? When we dream? When we die? The answer may be hidden in plain sight. What if we are not in consciousness, but consciousness is in us, because it is us? Not as individuals, but as a field, a source, a presence beyond name or form. We identify so deeply with the body, with thought, with the stream of experience we call me. But what if that stream is a small tributary branching off an endless ocean of awareness? Many NDEs describe this shift, the moment when the sense of individual identity dissolves into something vast. I no longer means the personality, but the presence. Some describe seeing not with eyes, but with knowing. Hearing not with ears, but with intuition. Existing as pure thought, or beyond even thought. The boundaries between self and cosmos blur. And in that blurring, something extraordinary is revealed, that everything is connected. That time is not linear. That every action, every thought, ripples across dimensions we cannot yet measure. And this is not just spiritual poetry. Quantum physics itself now whispers of realities stranger than we can imagine. Entangled particles communicate instantly across space. Time may not flow the way we think it does. Reality itself may be a projection from a deeper, hidden dimension. Could consciousness be the key that unlocks this deeper realm? Think about it. Everything you've ever known has been experienced within consciousness, not outside of it. Color, sound, love, fear, all are phenomena arising within awareness. Yet we've been trained to look for truth outside ourselves, forgetting that all we know and all we are begins and ends in this quiet, watching presence. Perhaps NDEs and altered states are cracks in the illusion, a glitch in the matrix of materialism. Perhaps they're reminders that the story we've been told of isolated individuals in a meaningless universe is not the full story. Perhaps it was never true to begin with. What if the light people see in NDEs is not out there, but the light of their true self, the awareness that can never die? What if the beings of love are archetypes, or facets of the infinite mind greeting us home? And what if, just what if, this whole life is an altered state? A dream we agreed to enter for the purpose of growth, of remembering, of playing with form until we're ready to wake up. Then death would not be the opposite of life. It would be the opposite of birth. And life would be the journey in between. To those who fear death, these possibilities may sound terrifying. But to those who have tasted them, they feel more real than anything else. They come back with new eyes, with hearts wide open, with a fire to live more fully, to love more fiercely, to let go of the small self and embrace the mystery, because the mystery is not something to be solved. It's something to be lived. And so we return to the silence, the stillness that watches, the presence that never leaves. This is not a doctrine. It is not a dogma. It is an invitation. To feel what you are. Not your name, not your role, but the awareness that has been here from the beginning and will remain long after the end. Welcome back. You never left. This is Beyond the Mind.